HBO is at it again. HBO is really out here releasing one very promising series after another. This time, they're about to release a Green Lantern series. Here's everything you need to know. The size of the continuing DC Extended Universe's plot fluctuates greatly, and it has been an overly convoluted mess of a cinematic attempt. For years, the DCEU has been preparing to launch into its first major space opera, but that entry is still entirely cloaked in the darkest night. The HBO Max Green Lantern series was initially planned to focus on a few of the interplanetary Green Lantern Corps members when it was first announced in 2019 by Greg Berlanti, a renowned producer of the Arrowverse. There are other more DCEU ideas for the character in addition to the series, which has not yet begun production. It was originally planned for John Stewart, one of the several characters who can use the Power Ring, to appear in Zack Snyder's Justice League. Wayne T. Carr was supposed to play him, but the studio got rid of him, so Snyder cast Martian Manhunter in his place. According to rumors, a Green Lantern Corps movie will be produced either late this year or early next year. The streaming series that will air exclusively on HBO Max is currently at some level of production in between all of this. But as of late, they've revealed that the show would once again center on Green Lantern John Stewart. Many of you may believe that the Green Lantern is simply the infamous character that Ryan Reynolds once portrayed, but we're here to fill you in on John Stewart's 50-year legacy and why he is one of the most significant figures in DC Comics. So before I talk about the upcoming HBO series, let's get to know our main character first. Contrary to common perception, John Stewart was not the first black superhero in DC Comics. Mal Duncan, a founding member of the Teen Titans, deserved to get this award. A few months before Stewart's debut, Jack Kirby's Forever People, which featured the figure Vykin the Black, reached new stands. It's reasonable to argue, though, that John Stewart is currently DC's most well-known African-American superhero. He has completely outdone the prior characters making their debuts. John Stewart, who first appeared in Green Lantern Green Arrow, issue number 87 in 1971, was created by the creative team of writer Denny O'Neil and illustrator Neil Adams. Beginning in 1970, this creative team gave the Green Lantern comics a new lease on life and increased their societal relevance and allowed DC to compete with Marvel. Despite the existence of the aforementioned black superheroes, there was no one taking the lead in a book, not even for a single issue. By doing that, John Stewart made his debut in history. John Stewart was first presented in the short story Beware My Power as a brazen young architect who detested being told what to do. Hal Jordan, a Green Lantern, and John had a falling out from the beginning, especially considering that Hal practically served as a space cop. But because of John's lack of fear, the Guardians of the Oa decided to smash that like button. No, but seriously, the Guardians of Oa decided to deploy him as Hal's backup lantern after Guy Gardner's catastrophic injuries. When Hal Jordan lost control and turned into the villain Parallax in the middle of the 1990s, John Stewart and all other Green Lanterns lost their powers, except for one, which went to the new character Kyle Rayner. He shattered all the power rings. Rayner was the only GL in the universe for a while, but in order to maintain his status in the DC universe, he asked John Stewart for mentoring. Stewart was now a member of the Dark Stars, another cosmic peacekeeping organization. Stewart was one of the first individuals to receive a new ring when Rayner decided to generate new ones and enlarge the Corps. The year 2001 saw John's highest increase in popularity. The animators of Batman the Animated Series and Superman the Animated Series finally assembled the DC heroes for Justice League after several years of anticipation. Bruce Timm, the creator of the series, decided to employ John Stewart as the team's Green Lantern. He gave the character a fresh start by making him a no-nonsense former Marine. The popularity and wider audience of the TV series made it so that for many kids, John Stewart was the Green Lantern the comics would subsequently accept this portion of this past. John ultimately entered the public consciousness roughly 30 years after its creation. So for the most part, Green Lantern has been kept secret and under wraps, although there are a few helpful details. For many comic book readers, the first thing on their minds is which Green Lantern the show will center on. In this instance, there are multiple answers. Characters in the show reportedly include Alan Scott, Guy Gardner, Jessica Cruz, and Simon Baz. Scott is the first incarnation of the character from the Golden Age, who was more magical than science fictional. Initially intended to be Hal Jordan's sidekick, Gardner eventually developed his own personality as a neo-parody of his predecessor. As the first female lantern from Prime Earth in the sector, Cruz made her debut in 2013 and soon won over fans. She often races alongside Lebanese-American Baz, a street racer who won the ring by enduring torture at Guantanamo Bay. But it appears that the series is aiming for a time-spanning adventure with at least 4 lanterns involved. The idea is to examine the tales of each lantern within their time period, sort of like an anthology. Although the premise is unclear, it would be a fantastic concept for the series to concentrate on the origin story or a day in the lives of 4 of the lesser-known Lanterns. Fans undoubtedly noted that the most well-known Green Lanterns, John Stewart, Kyle Crane, and Hal Jordan, were missing. Stewart is still most likely being held back for a movie adaptation. Jordan and Crane may have that as its goal, but the show may also want to highlight less well-known people. The Green Lantern Corps is a vast organization with an infinite number of warriors, many of whom are beloved characters by fans. Showing off a group and allowing the public response to determine which of them gets a standalone project is a nice method to handle the Corps rather than choosing one of the major individuals like the 2009 film did. And for the cast, while the majority of the cast and staff for the series have not been revealed, while some have, the Lanterns have only been publicly cast as 2. Finn Wittrock, who's arguably the best known for his numerous appearances in American Horror Story or his most recent performance in Deepwater, will play Guy Gardner. Alan Scott, the first Green Lantern, will be portrayed by Jeremy Irvin, who previously appeared in the 2011 film Warhorse. Although the remainder of the ensemble hasn't been revealed, Gardner and Scott are most likely to be the most well-known and the show's purported pull for viewers. Lee Toland Krieger is the only director mentioned so far for the project. In the past, Krieger has directed a few episodes of the television series Superman and Lois, Shadow and Bone, as well as movies like The Age of Adeline. It's presently unknown whether he'll be directing the remaining episodes of the series, despite the fact that he's named as producer and director for the first and second episodes of the show. Showrunner and co-writers Seth Grahame-Smith are mentioned as credits, though he's best known as the author of the Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter and Pride and Prejudice and Zombies. He also penned the script for the Lego Batman movie. Mark Guggenheim, the creator of Arrow and Legends of Tomorrow and one of the 4 screenwriters for 2009's Green Lantern, is the other author on the list. Greg Berlanti contributed as a writer as well. Even if the last Green Lantern project was a disaster, authors Berlanti and Guggenheim have a track record of producing quality DC superhero stories, so this could be their chance to earn the legendary DC hero's favor. The series doesn't yet have a set date for release. The series' filming has also not yet started. According to rumors, production will begin in late 2022, making late 2023 a possible time for release. It's safe to presume that DC is trying to hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell, or, produce numerous seasons of television off on this concept, even if it's unknown how many episodes the initial season will have. Personally, I have high expectations for the series, considering it's by HBO Max and HBO has a great track record so far. We can all finally forget that the 2011 film adaptation ever happened. But what do you think? That's it for today's video. Don't forget to smash that like button and ring that notification bell. While we wait for Green Lantern to hit our screens, check these videos you might like.